All right, I want to try this game on the GTX 1660 Ti, but this is a laptop edition GPU. It's not a desktop grade GPU. So this is like probably 1660 Super equivalent, or like 1060 GTX 1060. So this is like the bare minimum GPU to play this game, and it's playing it now at 4K. Let me just see, 4K. As you can see, this 1660 Ti 4K with DLSS performance. Yeah, it's 1080p, but it's upscaled to 4K, but it does not mean that it's the same as 1080p, because 1080p is going to be like a little bit, like 5 to 6 FPS more than FSR with performance, because that algorithm has to go and be calculated somewhere. So it's giving me 27 to 30. Well, I was 26, dropping 25. It was giving me like 27 to 20 to 30 something FPS close to the house. Now it's going to 24, and this is medium settings. So it's actually, to be honest with you, like 4K, this is playable. I mean, something happened with the game when I was testing on the 4080 Super. It was like being bottlenecked, but even like you can see on 4K, this is like a 9750H, so which is, this is like a 9th generation i7 laptop edition. So it's not even the desktop grade. So this is like just a 6-core 12 threads CPU. It's not a full grade CPU, and it's not even being bottlenecked by that. So yeah, because I don't know, something happened, and that triggered the bottleneck somewhere, probably in the background. Let me just fight these guys. Yeah, let me just fight these guys to see. Oh, I can fight. I can fight. Medium settings all day, every day. I can fight. Oh, I split them in half. Even 25 FPS does not stop me. As I said before, I have played games on less FPS than this before. I had a job and made my own, built my own computers. So yeah, this is really, for me, it's playable. Even like if I enable frame generation, but it's not frame generation, it's not gonna be enabled right now because it takes some VRAM, and there's no more VRAM to take. So yeah, it's really running like, I would say, the quality of PS5 fidelity mode, but less FPS than PS5 quality mode.
Not be this close.
We should check on the protection, Steve. There's a tree up ahead, yeah?
Okay, now using 1440p, but with FSR quality, which makes it 960p. It's giving me a little bit more performance because there's like more free VRAM, even though like it's just like 120 pixels less than 1080p, which is DLSS performance, FSR performance on 4K. So yeah, the VRAM is actually a little bit being used, as you can see, but it's actually a little bit 1440p does not use that much VRAM to start with. So from 30 FPS, 20s to 30s, now I'm like in 50s and 40s, which is kind of good. It dropped to the 30s again, but I think, let me just go back to that area when I was fighting those raiders.
We argued.
Those hunters.
Uses me up.
So, oh, there's a bear here.
Only sensible to keep a low profile after killing 3 of his kids.
I mean, it's the same kind of FPS.
That is why Atreus must learn to survive.
It drops to that same kind of FPS, but like it went to the 50s. Let me just go back fully, and see how it runs in this area. And the GPU is being like
I do not believe it.
used heavily right now. No, it's not kind of the same FPS. I'm having like 40 FPS, 50 FPS here. With just like a tad bit lower resolution than the what I was before, because VRAM limitations and stuff. This game is like VRAM heavy, and VRAM it eats VRAM for breakfast. That's what it does.
Mauled.
By what?
Okay, now as you can see, using FSR on performance, it gave me a little bit more FPS. It goes to the 60s now, but only when it has that VRAM limit removed, and then when the VRAM is being eat up, it drops under the 40s again. So yeah, it's like a hit or miss with this game with the VRAM. They have to fix the VRAM issue, and all this would be, oh, now it's the 70s. Wow. And as you can see, it's using it's allocated 5.6. The allocation doesn't really matter. What matters is what it's using. You know what I mean? That's what really matters. It's using 4.5, and it's not going beyond that, to be honest.
What do you believe about prophecy, Mimir?
I'm skeptical by nature, though we have seen.
Okay, now I enabled FSR with frame generation. Should be like that. That's the logo for FSR FG, and I'm gonna be keeping the FSR on 3. On performance, and go back and see how it runs. I think it should remove all those drops to the 40s and stuff. And as you can see, it's running fucking great. It dropped to the 60s from 70s, but it's like temporarily, and it goes back, and now it's like 96 FPS on something that would look a little bit worse than 1080p, but 96 FPS is not bad. That means that in native resolution in 1080p, it's probably gonna do the same kind of thing. Wow. Now it's using 4.7 gigabytes of VRAM instead of 4.5, which is frame generation has to sit somewhere. Those frames have to sit somewhere, and yeah, that's where they sit. They sit in the VRAM, and I mean 80. Let me just reset the 100% lows. Yeah, they dropped again. The 100% lows, they keep dropping for some reason. All right, you huntress, you raider. These are easy now. These are easy. The ones that are hard, the ones that's far to climb. Oh, I can't climb because there's somebody there. Okay, got it. I have to fight these guys before I go climb to that area. But remember, like, this is like a little bit not as intensive as Fatal Climb, but not by much. You know what I mean? It's not really by much. Using medium settings shouldn't affect the performance that much. Because what's affecting the performance between here and Fatal Climb is the tessellation. That's what's happening. I mean, when you put the tessellation on medium, on all other GPUs it works fine, but the game is gonna look flat. It's not gonna look as good. Okay, now using 1080p native quality. There is no upscaling, no frame generation. It's giving me 55 to like 60 FPS in some like areas where it's not really intensive, and in areas that are intensive, like looking out this ledge, is like 45. And because it's using a lot of VRAM, and this GPU does not really have a lot. It has 6 gigabytes of VRAM, and yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I can jump on this guy and chop him in half. I don't know, it happened again. I don't know why does it happen, but it shouldn't happen. It happened again, the same as the 4090 take. When I was filming the 4090 GPU benchmark, it happened the same thing. He didn't want to jump on him, like this first time, did not want to jump. He just like stayed over there and hit the air. Alright, now it's like inside the cave is like 80s, like drops to the 70s and 50s when it's intensive. But I'm not gonna lie to you, those drops in FPS, I don't really feel them. Like, it feels smooth. It does not really feel stuttery. I mean, this is like an external GPU. I'm hooking up the laptop to an OLED TV, 4K OLED TV, so it's external display. And even on the external display, it does not really stutter. Some games on this external display, they stutter. Some games they stutter, but this game not. It doesn't really even begin to stutter. Even though there are drops in FPS, but I think the VRR and stuff like working in my favor. I don't really feel it. As I said, like other games, even with VRR, I feel the stutter. I feel it heavy. But yeah, now I felt the stutter. See, that was a big spike in frame time. That I felt it, but otherwise, I don't know. I don't feel it, to be honest with you. All those spikes right now, I feel nothing.
Atreus, are you here?
Okay, now I'm using FSR 3.1 on quality, which renders the game at 720p and then upscales it to 1080p. It's giving me not bad kind of FPS. Inside here, we're gonna see how it handles outside, which is the real test, because inside the cave it's really not that intensive, but outside, especially when the fight with the bear Atreus, with the boy, with the bear boy. Yep. Yeah, boy. Especially with this fight, it's gonna be probably intensive. Yes, it's dropping to the 50s, but I think it's just because it reaching the VRAM kind of limit. Frame generation would fix all that. Frame generation would fix all of that. Just sliding me around. Even though oh, this was a sequence, I forgot. It's like a sequence that it has to happen. Okay, boy. Let me drop it to FSR on performance actually. Where is it? Right here. There was a lag when you go like between this has to be removed. Like it doesn't really have to be like this. I know that they show us like the graphical fidelity in real time and stuff, but other games, even though they don't show you, but that happens in the background. You know what I mean? Atreus is gonna die. Oh, he's not gonna die. He's just gonna be beaten by his father. So DLSS on performance does not really actually improve. I mean, FSR on performance does not really improve the performance of the game. I did not change the logo of FSR. I forgot to do that. But yeah, it's still, I mean, playable. 80 FPS, 60 FPS is playable. It's not that bad. It's just I would like prefer to be like 100 FPS with FSR performance because it's a really low resolution of 540p. Yeah, 540p upscale to 1080p is not. I mean, it looks good. I mean, in front of me it looks good because it's upscaler. It's not really just like doing some bullshit upscaling from like 10 years ago. It's using actually an algorithm that upscales perfectly. Even though it does not look like DLSS, but it's, you know, it's like 90% of DLSS quality. Okay, now 1080p DLSS on quality, which is 720p upscale to 1080p, with FSR frame generation enabled. And let's go and see how that runs. I think FSR frame generation and any frame generation technology saves the disparity in performance when it like you're fighting. It's like going up and down to 60s and up to 80s.
Just the boy becoming a bear?
Yeah. Are we?
Not now. We need to repair the.
There are spikes. There are spikes in performance, but not really feeling. You know, I'm not really feeling those spikes.
Well,
it feels stable. Oh, there's gonna be more of those raiders. It's just this like prompt is really annoying. Just give me like to close it automatically, like immediately. I don't really need to wait until I read it all. Then they give me the button to get rid of it. Oh. God damn it.
So, lad, besides your gift of language and hearing features,
I'm not sure why my GPU keeps dropping clocks.
magical ability to support.
But it's not really dropping performance, it's just dropping clocks.
When he died,
It drops clocks pretty significantly. I think because the battery is not really connected, because I just like removed the SSD to copy the game. I didn't want to really re-download the game and reinstall it again on the laptop. All right. We all think that the game runs pretty much good on this hardware, even though like there's a bottleneck right now for some reason. It's not a bottleneck, it's just like GPU usage being dropped for some reason because
oh,
It's dropping.
Recognize where we are now.
It's dropping clocks as well. It's not just the usage.
You're the
This GPU is like pretty old by now, like pretty ancient, and it's really a laptop GPU, not really. And the CPU as well as a laptop CPU is not really the grade of desktop CPU. So, and it's running great. It was running together on 4K. 4K DLSS performance. I mean, FSR performance was running more than 50 FPS. 4K, like more than 30 FPS at least. So, yeah, it was not running more than a 50. It was running like more than. It drops to the 20s and like it goes up to the 30s. So yeah, on 4K, this GPU could handle this game on 4K. This game is not just, it's optimized. There's like issues, but it's optimized performance wise. It's just like there's a VRAM leak that they have to fix, and I hope they fix it soon. All right, guys, see you later.